DC and Jon Jones don't agree on much, but after seeing Jones get drilled by a football, even DC had some sympathy.
Jon Jones is bad at sports. I'm sorry. He's a good fighter, an amazing fighter. But I don't know that he can play anything else. We were doing free kicks. Marif was the goalie. And I put a couple in the top corner. And he asked me, he goes, "Did you play?" I said, "Never." And he's like, "Well, that was pretty impressive." I go, "Because I'm an athlete. You kick the ball, you shoot the basketball, you catch the football. You should be able to do that when you're an athlete." Dude, it was crazy. Cross into the box. Marif kicks the ball out of the air. And I mean, it hit Jones in the chest so hard. He screamed, "Oh!" And he ran off the field. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. Let me tell you something. I like when Jon Jones hurts, but I feel bad for him in that one, because that shit must have hurt. I didn't want that. I was like, yo, he grabbed his chest and he started like coughing. So bad. It was real bad.
Ah, damn. The ball lined up so perfectly on my foot, and I blasted it right into his stomach. I went over and apologized straight away. I didn't do it on purpose.
Sean O'Malley recently revealed that when the UFC offered him Ayman Zahabi for the White House card, he actually asked for Yan instead. According to O'Malley, the UFC told him that fight wasn't an option, but it's still the matchup he wants if he gets the win.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great story. You know, I fought in January. I knew June was going to line up perfect for another fight as long as I was healthy. Made it out healthy and just was waiting. And, you know, I got to a point where I was like, oh, shit, maybe they, you know, I hadn't talked to the UFC. I figured I'd just wait till they called me and, you know, got to a point where I was like, damn, maybe I'm not going to be on. And then they called, you know, a few days before they announced the fight, and they asked if I want to fight Ayman. And I said, no, I'd rather fight Peter. And they said, that's not an option. I said, sure, I'll beat up Ayman. So it's as simple as that.
Why wasn't Yan an option? Because I know that was something that was rumored.
You'll have to ask Lil Yan.
Well, what is next? Like, if you get this victory 2 weeks from now, what do you hope is the next fight for you?
You know, I'd love it to just, you know, be Petr Yan. I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to book that fight. I've been assuming that for a while, and they haven't yet. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if it's, you know, Merab's beak is a little too broken, or Peter's back's a little too messed up. Who knows? You know, it's a brutal game, and injuries are a real thing. So I don't know if one of them are dealing with something. But KO would be ideal, and then go and fight Peter for the belt would be what I would want next.
Like and subscribe for more content. A newly released video filmed before Khamzat's fight with Sean Strickland shows him discussing nutrition.
I would say the steak he likes a lot, steaks with rice. But you know what? He doesn't eat the vegetables. Let's put it on the embedded. Khamzat doesn't like the vegetables. Every time he's eating a sperm.
Bro, I doesn't want to be skinny like vegetarian guys, bro. You see Nate Diaz? He's like spaghetti, bro. That's why I eat the meat. And like there we grow up always meat.
Only meat, bro. Only meat. Meat
You
and
never
dog.
eat vegetables?
Look at, I give you an example, Italian who has how many fighters? It's good, so it's enough. Because you eat pasta only.
Fans were quick to push back on Khamzat's remarks. Diaz made weight every time except once when had a torn meniscus and couldn't train. You missed weight versus Burns, Diaz, and Strickland. Undisciplined, unprofessional, there you have it. Dominick Cruz recently shared his thoughts on Conor McGregor's long-awaited return, explaining why a lengthy layoff can sometimes create advantages for a fighter. Drawing from his own experience coming back from major injuries, Cruz believes there are still plenty of unanswered questions about what version of McGregor will show up against Max Holloway.
So 5 years since Conor's fought. We don't know what he's gonna look like now. When I was gone for 3.5 years with my knees blown out, that was one of the things I knew I had at an advantage coming into that fight against TJ Dillashaw. I knew they weren't gonna know my style. They weren't gonna know if my knees were good. They weren't gonna know if my footwork was good. They weren't gonna know if I was in shape. These are all intangibles because you don't have a past fight to look at for Conor in the last 5 years. So we could get the better Conor than we've ever seen in our life for this fight. But look at this shin break. Like, how did he heal from all that? How's he going to come back from this? I know from my own experience, my life flipped upside down, and I think Conor's did too. But at the same time, that fueled me in a weird way, and I was able to come back and do something that hasn't been done. Come back from all those injuries, one of the longest layoffs known in MMA, to win a title. Man, would it be fun to watch Conor McGregor come back and do something similar. And man, would it be fun to watch Max Holloway get his loss back. What an amazing card. UFC 329 is going to be awesome.
Chael Sonnen believes the race for the next middleweight title shot is already underway. While Khamzat has publicly pushed for a championship fight, Chael argues that Nasruddin Imavov has a strong case of his own, especially with Sean Strickland backing him as the next contender.
But they don't speak about it as though they've been given talking points or somebody's come to them or this is a really important thing. I don't read these headlines anywhere, so I'm just bringing that to you. Like, Dana has come to us and told us that Chimaev has contacted him and said he wants to fight for the title. I assume Imavov has done that as well, but I don't know that. And Imavov and Chimaev are in a fight right now. They're in a fight in the media right now. Imavov has a real golden goose in his hand, which is he has the mandate of Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland has publicly said, I am not going to fight Chimaev next. Imavov gets the next crack. Now, parity in a fresh matchup will take you a long way. The thing with Imavov is he and Strickland have already fought, and I don't tell you that to condescend to you. I tell you that because most people don't know that. It was not a highly watched fight. It was not a numbered event. It happened. It was a while ago. Bob's your uncle.
Joe Rogan recently shared some concerns about the UFC's upcoming White House card, questioning whether fighters should be competing outdoors in the middle of summer. Rogan pointed to the potential impact of heat, bugs, and dehydration, arguing that championship fights should take place in a controlled environment.
The White House thing is odd. I don't like it. I don't like the idea of fighting outside at all.
Well, there's problems with it.
And then
done it too many times.
June, and it's DC, and we looked it up the last time, like last year, same day, it was 100 degrees.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
hot.
You add the lights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the lights.
You add the lights. That attracts bugs.
How about dehydration?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the bugs are a big one.
Go back to UFC. Yeah, with all those lights.
Yeah.
Go back to UFC 3. See how hot it was.
How are they going to do anything about the bugs? Because I know that Dana was talking about that recently. They were talking about maybe using fans. Is that enough?
No, it's not enough.
Bug strips everywhere? What are you going to do? Like, how are you going to stop the bugs? There's a lot of bugs.
You can spray. That's pretty much all you can do.
Pesticide the shit out of the fucking
Pesticide. That's good for the fighters. That'll help with their breathing.
I just don't think that you should compete in a world championship fight in a non-controlled environment.
Yeah.
I think it should be inside an air-conditioned arena. It should be a controlled environment, just like you don't ask someone to do any of that. You wouldn't ask them to play a world championship basketball game outside in the sun. No. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Right? You play in an air-conditioned arena, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, but I understand the whole thing, and
I get it
it's
too,
special.
But listen,
but it's going to be a pain in the butt.
Roof.
Yeah.
Build a roof. Like, you've got all the money in the world, right? You're doing this. You want to do this for America?
My money.
It's 4,000 seats. You build a 4,000 seat arena. Yeah. How big is that? Get a barn-dominium. Put it in there. You know, like we did UFC's in the troops. Yeah. We did them in the troops. We did them in hangars.
Yeah, we did. But they want that White House in the background.
Put it in the background on TV. Who gives a fuck? It's just like when world-class fighters are competing, I don't think they should have to compete outside.
Yeah. Look at they're already putting it in there.
Imagine if someone loses a fight because it's too hot out.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Imagine if that becomes a factor. Imagine the dehydrated fighters. Like the dehydrated fighters that are now being forced 24 hours later to fight
in 100-degree heat outside under the spotlights.
Go back. I swear to God, UFC 3 was in North Carolina. And it was the hottest thing I've ever been in my life.
It was outside, UFC 3?
No, it wasn't. It was inside with no air conditioning really inside. It was a 3,500 seat arena. They put 6,000 people into it. It was under the lights, had to be 150 degrees. Okay, you saw everyone falling out. Hoist had the problem after chemo and stuff. You know, Ken Shamrock fell out. They all pulled out and stuff. It was. Joe, it was the hottest thing I've ever been in my life. It was brutal.
You have to ask yourself as a fighter, though, is the spectacle worth my career?
Right.
Like, is it worth me going out there and fighting in these circumstances that I'm not used to.